Hey, hello and welcome. Can you see me? All good. All right. So, hey there. This is gonna be a screen recording. It's probably gonna last a little while, but it's gonna be super exciting because today I want to share with you what is my system for note taking, advanced note taking. And today I'm gonna use the example of language learning through notes. Right? I'm gonna walk you through my process. Like I'm starting from scratch, a whole new system of learning notes. You'll see, but okay, first off, who am I, right? My name is Santi Younger. I run a network of podcasts. One of them is on philosophy, which is my main one, philosophy and creativity. The other one is on a language, an artificial language called Tokipona. So yeah, the podcast is called Tokipona Podcast. And in case you come from there, you already know what I'm talking about. But for those of you who've never heard about this language, it's an artificial language that is very simple to learn. It only has 120 words. So I thought it was the best example for what I'm gonna show you today, but this can be applied to anything. I mean, this is gonna be for you if you are tired of the way some software behaves, like the way that if you're taking notes on, like maybe OneNote, Evernote, all these things, there comes a point where things just turn into a mess and you don't know, you no longer know how to organize all of this information that you have. Is no longer useful. It's just kind of like a headache. So yeah, I mean, this is gonna combat that. It's free open source software. So I'm gonna be talking about today is mainly Emacs. It's called Emacs. Now, a lot of people fear it because it's made for programmers. It's made for people who really know what they're doing with a computer. Now, I don't think you need to fear it. I mean, 1 year ago, I didn't know anything. I mean, I edit video. That is kind of the main thing I do. And, I was decent with computers, but I was never like a programmer or never a beast. I'm still not a programmer, right? But in this past year, I learned so much. And I think these things can be taught to a lot of different people. All you need to have is a willingness to learn. So with that being said, let's get into it. Let me see if we're recording okay. Now, yeah, you can see the when I type the keys. So yeah, with that being said, we're gonna open Emacs. I have it in my second screen, but this is it. It's connecting right now. Now, there's going to be a lot of configuring and a lot of setting up, and it's starting to get kind of like the basic idea of it. I'm not going to go through it right now. This is more of an introduction to what you can do, especially for language learning. So I'm going to be using the example of Tokipona, right? How to learn Tokipona through this method. Now, this is what you'll see as you start. I am using Linux, but this works really well on Mac. I haven't tested on Windows, but I'm sure it works. So yeah, I mean, I also have like a secondary, Apple computer, and it works really well. This is Linux Manjaro, in case you're interested. I think Linux is amazing, but yeah, you don't necessarily have to be using Linux for this. Now, this blank screen, you'll be like, okay, what is this? But it's not that scary, okay? If you're interested in learning the ins and out of this, I am developing an online course for people who want to learn this whole thing. But until that is done, if you're really kind of crazy to get started and you're not a programmer and you want to learn this thing in simple terms, because yes, you will find a lot of information online, but a lot of it is made for programmers or for people who already know a lot of, who are very good with computers. So if you're kind of like decent with computers, or maybe, you're fast at learning and you want to learn and you're willing to learn, then yes, I mean, send me an email. We can arrange a one-on-one consultation, or you can, I can let you know more about when I release an online course of this. But okay, with that being said, I do have a few things set up. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing a lot of crazy shortcuts and stuff. Like the whole idea is that you never use the mouse, which I love, right? But yeah, don't worry about any of this. I don't want you to worry about the technical stuff right now. I just want you to focus on what is possible, right? So when I go like this, I have my folder structure. I navigate with H and L back and forth. I can hide some of these things. So for instance, if I go to Dropbox, I can enter there and I have a folder called org, right? Now what I'm going to show you today is org mode, right? I'm going to expand this. And what we're going to do is, and first off, if you are familiar with this software, like I am using something called evil mode, which uses the shortcuts of Vim, because I was into Vim for so long. I mean, I absolutely love Vim, but excuse me, I absolutely love Vim, but Emacs is really, really powerful, and it just resonates with what I want to do. So I'm just gonna show you a couple of things. So for instance, like just for the sake of showing you what this is like, I'm gonna open youtube.santiyounger.org, and here you can see, well, I can close this other window with these shortcuts. Don't worry about the shortcuts right now. I can zoom this in. Okay, so this is what you have when you open the file, right? It's just some basic things on Emacs before we jump straight into the Tokipone example of language learning. But yeah, right now what I have is a few different headings, and I have like this thing so that it looks a bit nicer, like these little circles. And when I when I press tab, I can expand them. It's an online system, so I can expand and contract. And so, for instance, just to show you, if I expand this, I have planned videos, right? And these are some videos that I have, like on video editing, DaVinci, some specific things, right? And here, when I expand, I can go straight into the points. What is the point of the video? And I explain that. What is the intro? What is the problem? And I expand on that. I don't want to get too deep into this. Hopefully it's not confusing. Like, the whole idea is that you can expand and contract headings. So we're gonna use the power of that for a lot of things. Now there's way too much, here I have like progress like film videos, and here I have like all the videos that I recorded recently in editing process, which I'm working on this one right now, and I have possible titles, all this kind of stuff, right? Let me zoom out a little bit, there we go. Ready to upload. So yeah, that's how I organize some of my notes and upload it. I haven't uploaded any of this yet, so that's empty. And a template download, which I just copy this and I can have like video goals, video script, possible titles. These ones are empty right now, but that is kind of like the idea, right? So this is a buffer, right? And when I do this, well, actually, I'm not gonna get too much into the technical stuff right now. I'm just gonna open this window. If you see the M in the screen right there, so when you see this, M means meta key, in which, in most computers that means Alt. So Alt, the Alt key, right? And Control, what is it? So like Control, Control is just CX. So yeah, I mean, if you do know Emacs, or if you figured out from somewhere else, then yeah, this is probably gonna be helpful. But if not, again, don't worry about the technical stuff. If you're eager to learn, send me an email to keep you updated on when I release the online course of this, because I love to do that. But right now, we're just gonna create a new file, okay? And when I press that, right down there, it might be a bit small, but down there I can create a new file. So I'm gonna call it Tokipona. And .org is the extension, right? This is a plain text file. So you're gonna be the owner of this forever. It's compatible. You can open it in Emacs. You can open it anywhere, but it works really well in Emacs, right? So I created that. Trimex failure already exists. Oh wait, sorry, I think I did something wrong. Let me see, tokipona.org. Can we create that? Create file. Let me see. Let's put a hyphen in it. Maybe I already have yeah, there we go. Okay, I think I had another hidden file that was already called that, but yeah, it doesn't matter. So here we have it. If I go a bit bigger, you can see it right here. When I click on it, we have a clean file, right? Now I'm gonna call this, don't worry, I'll make this bigger. Okay, so Tokipona. Okay, so this is gonna be a file for the whole language, right? And now what we can do is, I want to organize things so that we can have, like the whole word list. Let me just turn off a couple of things. One is like an autocorrection thing. There we go. It's just an autocorrection that I don't want right now. Word list. Now, when we put an asterisk before it, you can see that it creates a heading. And if we put anything in here, it expands and contracts, right? So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna put all the words of Tokipona right here. Now, I really wanted to make this kind of like a very, like straight out of the box, the whole setup thing. So I haven't set this up yet. So you're just gonna have to bear with me for a second. I'm gonna go to, okay. I'm in my browser, which is Brave. Hopefully the internet is okay. Let me check real quick. Oh no, my internet is not going. Okay, let's see. Tokipona word list. Hopefully it'll work. Yeah, it's been a bit slow. Let's give that a second. In the meantime, I'm gonna switch to, here. So what we're gonna do here, I'm gonna set up something. So another heading where it's like, I don't know, sentences examples. Okay. And in here again, I can have anything. I can expand and contract that, which is awesome. Same thing here, just for the sake of example, expand and contract. And again, let me just see if we have the browser ready. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so classic word list. I'm gonna go for, Tokipona word list. So here there will be like the whole list of every word. Now, okay, yeah, this works. Let's see. So I'm just gonna copy this first line. Okay, let me delete this, and now in word list I'm gonna, okay, that is a problem, like because I deleted it, it copied it again, so I just need to copy it again. There we go. Okay, now as you might be able to see, like, it's organized like that. Let me see. No, I actually do like the setup of this. Yeah, I don't want to mess with it too much. I think I like it. It's pretty good. Now, what we're gonna do, let me just see. Let me just test what happens if I do a title in here. Okay, so this whole thing becomes a title. Ideally, I would like to have this under the title. So, let me just check if there's another word list that doesn't have things right next to each other, because it's not the best example for what I want to teach you today. Yeah, let's go to this one. I mean, it's probably very similar. Classic word list. Okay, this works. Yeah, this works. Cool. So, yeah, I'm gonna just go all the way down. I have a shortcut for that. Don't worry about that. That's a whole other thing. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Now we're gonna undo this because I want to, get rid of that. Let me just copy it again. These are a lot of links, so I'm gonna, copy. Paste. There we go. This is perfect. Okay, so as you can see, it has like some different symbols in here. It's kind of like showing you symbols from, I believe this is Chinese. I'm gonna get rid of that for now, just for the sake of example. Just of the first few, I'll have to go through them and delete them because I don't want to have them right now. But yeah, either way, with that being said, now we can zoom in. And now this is already the first word, okay? And it means, yeah, here it is. So it means a, ha, u. So yeah, this is not the best example. Let me show you a different word in Tokipona. Akesi. It's a noun and it's a non-cued animal or reptile, right? So what we're gonna do, this is kind of like a fun expression. In Tokipona, you can just say a. Now what I'm gonna do is, like, as you can see, these two are in the same level. So if I have something here, it collapses it. But I want this to be under this. So I'm gonna delete that. And what I'm gonna do is just put that in there with a shortcut. I think the shortcuts, yeah, you can no longer see the screens. Let me see. Key screen. Okay, yeah, sorry for that. I think the screens are no longer working right now. Let me just do a quick test. Key screen, or it's called screen key. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I have no idea why that disappeared. But yeah, let's see. Can we see that? Yeah, there we go. Cool. All right. Sorry for that. So with that said, now we have like the first word, right? And here we have more information in it. But yeah, I'll probably delete some of that. So yeah, that thing kind of like contracts everything. So now what we need is to make another title out of this. Now what I did was like this one that creates a kind of like a heading one kind of thing. Now when I go Alt and right key, Alt is meta, I can indent that, and now it's a second screen. So now it's a second heading. So now when I compact that, like now we have that in here. Now another way to do that, because I'm gonna have to do that through every word, it would be just to add, a double asterisk, and now we have that going on. So let me just zoom out a little bit so that I can have a better view of things. This wasn't on the, okay, so apparently, as you can see, like this note on the website already had an asterisk, which doesn't work for us. Right now I'm just gonna, put 2 asterisks to everything. And yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to be back on that because right now I'm doing it quite manually. There's a lot better ways. But yeah, let me pause for a second. I'm gonna do that through every single word. But yeah, as you can see, like all I'm doing is I have the word right here. And here I have the definition of it. I have some additional information on that word, like kind of like the origin, whether it comes from a different language, and just kind of like some extra information. But yeah, real quick, I'm just gonna do that with some more advanced commands so that I don't take super long. But yeah, I'm gonna be back in 1 second. So let me pause right there for a second. Okay, and we're back. That only took me a second because of a powerful feature that you have in Emacs and also in Vim, which is called a macro, where you can run a series of, I was doing very manual work going down, putting the asterisk and so on. I finished with all of them. It only took me like 1 minute because I ran something called a macro. Now, let me show you that real quick, just so that you understand the power of it. Now, I can collapse everything, and as you can see, we have all the words like this. I am going down with a shortcut. I'm not using the mouse. Actually, let me take it out of the way. And, if we run to the bottom of the list, I left a few examples right here. You know how there were symbols right next to each word and I wanted to get rid of those? I ran another macro for that. So first I ran a macro to add 2 asterisks at the beginning of each word. But I also ran a different one for getting rid of all these things. Now, again, don't worry too much about the commands right now. It's just to show you what is possible. So for instance, what I do is like, I go to the beginning of this thing and I do something called X, open parenthesis, Control X, open parenthesis. Then I go word, I move here. I move exactly where I want it. I run a shortcut for deleting everything after that. Then I go to the next thing, boom. There we go. And now the macro has been defined. That's what it says underneath. So now when I run this thing, it automatically does it for the rest of the words. So as you can see, boom. I can even specify a number. We have just with the mouse just to show 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I run the number 5 and then I run the macro, boom, all of them are done. And that's the exact same way I did all of these headings right here. So, just for the sake of example, like if I delete this heading, wait, let me just, we have it like that. This is how we had it before. So here was one word. Wait, no. Let me command set on that. Okay, I'm getting things really confused now. So yeah, the idea is that, for instance, if this doesn't have the heading anymore, and it's just one word right there, and this one doesn't have the heading anymore, all I did was run a command, another one of these things called macros, where now what I define is go to the beginning. First I need to record the macro. So as you can see down here is defining the macro. Now I add, I insert a double asterisk, a space, then I escape, then I go to the next paragraph, 1 line down, okay? Then I insert another asterisk. I just need to go, 0. Now I need to record that thing. And now when I execute it, boom, it's been done. And if I had a lot more of this, all I do is run the command again, run the macro again, and I have them all titled like I want them, with the double asterisk. And that's exactly what I did. I probably should have recorded that just to show you, but that is kind of like the idea, okay? So hopefully that wasn't too confusing. Now what we have is headings with all the different words that we have in Tokipona. So if we just go to any of them, and ideally I would like to, for instance, delete these 2 lines, and I can run a macro for that as well, right? Yeah, but right now I don't want to overwhelm you too much with macros. They're a bit more complicated, a bit more advanced. But the whole idea is that you can do things, you can bulk do things. So I don't know, you want to delete something specific, you can just run a macro. It's super powerful. That's something I'd like to expand on. But right now, let's just go back to the main idea. Okay, so say for instance, I want to see what's the definition of this word. Accesi, right? Is a non-cute animal, reptile, amphibian, right? And here's giving me other, in other languages like besto, rampulo, amphibio, and then it's giving me like this thing as well. And you can see it has some extra definitions. This is all what I get from the website. I'd definitely like to clean this up a little bit. So, just for the sake of example, right now, I'll get rid of this. Let's see. Yeah, this is more of the definition, so it's probably useful. Now let's go to what is the meaning of a word like hilo. Is a tool, is a device, is a machine. Now, if you're not familiar with Tokipona, don't worry, it's just for the sake of example, but Tokipona is meant to, because it only has 120 words, is meant to, convey a lot of meaning in just one word. If you're interested in it, check out my podcast. I talk all about it. Right now, I want to show you the power of what I'm doing here. So, we have a word list. We can expand it and we can contract it. If we tap. Sorry for the screen, this thing going away, like, you know, you can't see what I'm doing anymore, so it just keeps going away. So right now all what I'm gonna do is actually describe what I'm doing with the screen, with the keys. So when I press tab, I open it. When I press tab again, I open it all and I expand it again, and I can contract just this one, or if I press shift tab, I can contract everything, and again I have my list right here, right? So hopefully you can already see how powerful this is, right? And now here we have sentences examples. So if we go back to, yeah, and I was researching, you know, the shortcuts for a macro. If we go back to, you know, like this Tokipona website where it explains a lot of things, let's see if we can find examples. You know, I just want to find like some sentences. I do have them saved somewhere else, but right now I want to show you the whole process of what it would be like in real, you know. So let's see, like Tokipona example sentences. Let's see what do we have. Useful phrases in Tokipona. There we go. Okay, so now here's where the real power of the system goes, okay? Now, here it's already telling us what the whole thing means, but what I'm gonna do, we'll go back to that, right? What I'm gonna do is just copy this little thing right here, and in sentence example, I'm gonna paste it, okay? Now, yeah, let me just get rid of this thing, just for the, you know, it's a question, but right now I want to show you something so without the question mark interrupting. So now, because we have our word list down here, you know, we can contract that. Let me zoom in a little bit. Nimi sina liseme, which if we can see, it means what is your name, right? But say we didn't have, you know, like say we wrote the sentence ourselves, or we saw it somewhere and we can't find the direct translation, but we want to figure that word by word. Now what we are able to do is something called links, right? And links are super powerful. So let's just create like another, you know, heading in here called useful phrases. Okay, useful phrases. Now in here we have this one right here. We can again like contract or expand that. There's a better word for contract than expand, but you know, that's what I'm using right now. And now something super powerful that hopefully will work. I haven't tested this in this file right here because I just created it. But if we insert, you know, a double bracket, and then I go to the end of the word, and I insert, a double bracket again, you can see it highlights it. And now I can run a command to where it opens it is straight to where it is. Did you see that? So now I can expand and I can see this means word or name, right? And here it is in other languages. Right now I can delete this, for example. But you can see it means it's a noun and it's a word or a name, nimi. And I can contract that, right? I can contract the whole thing. Now let's do, you know, and if you see, all it is actually this double bracket thing. So when I insert the other bracket, it creates a link to another heading within this file. So right now, if we expand this and we go all the way down in Nimi, here it is. So here it's Nimi. All it's doing is just taking us there. So if I contract everything and I have, you know, useful phrases, Nimi, when I run the command to open that, which in this case is Control-C, Control-O, it opens it, right? And I'm so excited because I didn't test this and I haven't used that feature that much yet. I mean, especially for you know, language learning, which is what I'm doing right here. Now let's do the same for this one, right? I can do it a bit easier, and you know, I'm gonna do it slow just for the sake of keeping it basic right now. But if I do a double bracket thing, and again I go to the end of the thing, or you know, I can just go like that. And I close it again. As you can see, we have the same thing, and it opens Sina, and I can see Sina means you, okay? And here we have some additional information. Again, like these things I don't need right here, so again, I'm gonna delete them. I can definitely run a macro to delete them everywhere, but yeah, right now I don't want to get things too complicated. But as you can see, like there we go. So Nimi, again, like let's open it. It means word or name, okay? We close this, and now Sina, let's open it again. It means you, okay? Here you can see it. I can, you know, contract that. Li, so let's do the same thing, like that. Boom. I think you get the idea, right? This one is explaining that it's a between any subject, me and Sina, okay? So yeah, right now this is going to the end of it. I can definitely format it so that it doesn't take the whole screen, but I don't want to mess up with things too much right now. And yeah, there we go. So semi finally, right? Same procedure. Sorry, bracket. We go to the end of things. And again, we can open it. And this one was still open, but it doesn't have to be. So semi means what, which is a way in which you finish a question, right? And I can definitely, what's really useful about this, let's say let's just remove this because I don't need it. Let's say we don't need any of that. All we need is to know this. And here I can add my notes. I can even have like a subheading. Actually, if we do 3, now we're inside of that. This is useful. Wait, no, let's add notes because it's a heading. Now we can put after that, this is used to ask questions. So now we know that semi is used to ask questions. Now if we contract that again, and now we have our example in here, I can go to semi, I can open that with the shortcut, which in this case is Ctrl+C, Ctrl+O. We can expand that, we can see some notes on it, and this is used to ask questions, okay? There we go. And yeah, as you can see, it also expands into the original thing, and it actually puts it in the place where it's at in the whole list. So now we can go through the whole list. Now, if I press Shift Tab, I can close everything again, and useful phrases. So let's do another one just for the sake of experimenting with it, but I think you get the point, which is really, really powerful. I don't know, let's have something different, right? Okay, this is funny. Call the police, okay? So useful phrases. Let's create, maybe let's put another heading that says phrases for emergencies. Okay, so yeah, you're running out of a ball girl, like a thief is stealing your stuff. So now, we paste this phrase right here. Let me zoom out a little bit. There we go. Mi wile eyan utala pi matomoni, right? And we say okay, I kind of get the idea of this. I remember it has something to do with police, and I don't really understand. I can't remember what utala means. I'm assuming that you're using this either for any specific thing that you're learning. It can be, science, chemistry, something complicated, politics, economics, and you have a term that you want to figure it out, and you have a word list of terms. Then it can be okay, I'm gonna double bracket this. I can't remember what utala means, for instance, right? And now I have a link for that. Again, if we run the command, boom, utala, it means conflict, disharmony, competition, fight, war. Let me zoom out a little bit. We have more things, battle, and I can, just for the sake of now, I'm gonna just run the command that is gonna allow me to just visual line mode. There we go. Yeah, much better. So now it just has it makes it fit into the screen. If I zoom in more, I can see it fully. So there you go. Again, we have some extra information in here that right now I don't really want to have. But we can do the same thing where after utala, we can have the initial definition. We could even put this in something like definition. You see? And we just put it in a separate line and actually put it into a different heading. And I can also run another one where I say notes. Three stars to make a subheading, and then I can put some notes. And actually, what's really cool is say, okay, I want to put notes after it. If I just press Alt and arrow, I can switch the order of things. This is beautiful. This is amazing. Imagine when you have a lot of different headings and you want to say no, I need to reorganize this, or I want to sort them out in alphabetical order. You can also do that. It's really powerful. Yeah. So what else we got? Actually, I'll show you the sorting out in, alphabetical order in a second. But now we have notes, and here we can say okay, based on the definition is conflict, disharmony, conflict. I don't know, anything in here, right? It mostly means conflict. Whatever, right? There we go. And now if we close this again, let's close everything. We get sentence examples, phrases for emergencies. We can collapse that, but we can also expand it, useful phrases. So here we go. Ami Willian Utala. Oh, what was Utala? There we go. We have the definition, and we got some notes. It mostly means conflict. There you go. So now we can delete that. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, now let me show you something real powerful regarding alphabetical order, right? So say for some reason you had, and again, I'm doing Alt and arrow, and I'm mixing things up a little bit, and I have this thing out of order, and a lot of these things kind of like, something that starts with A is really down here, and something that starts with L, lasso is on the top. So I say like, okay, this is a bit of a mess. I want this in alphabetical order. I can select everything, do another command, which in this case is Shift G to go to the bottom. Now I need to memorize, there's a lot of shortcuts you need to memorize. I believe this one is Control C, and then boom, there we go. And down here, it's telling me, do you want to organize this in alphabetical, numerical? I'm gonna put A for alphabetical. And if we collapse everything again, and I go to the top, it's in alphabetical. So as you can see, A is now at the top again, and everything is now in order again. So this is amazing. Just for the sake of example with this like list of useful things to remember, right? And here we have like something like blah, blah, blah. I don't have a good example for this right now because numbers in Tokipona are a mess and people prefer not to talk about them. Okay, so I don't know, say you're changing things in order of importance, and well, I'm actually gonna do kind of like bullet list. There's a lot of shortcuts I still need to memorize, but like if I just run a bullet list right here, you can do a couple of things. Okay, again, say for instance that you have this one down here and this one down here. Maybe the numbers were an afterthought. Okay, maybe you didn't have numbers initially. Then you say like, okay, maybe this goes first, then this goes second, this goes third, and this goes fourth, Sorry for the bad examples, but yeah. I mean, what I could do is, again, I could put this up here, which is not too bad, with Alt and arrows. I can go this down here, and I can put this down here. Right now, we're gonna just undo that. But again, what we can do is just run this, run the command. Down here is telling me alpha or numeric. If I press numeric, there we go. Now, another cool thing is we can highlight. Actually, I think we can just be on this one. If we press Control C and then we press minus, we can scroll through this. So again, you see, like you can say like, instead of a line, I want a plus, or I want numbers, or I want numbers with parentheses. In which case, you might be like, okay, maybe I don't even need. And right now I'm doing a visual selection, Control Shift V. I'm deleting this. I'm deleting that. And now I say like, okay, I mean, this is in the right order. Maybe, important, not so important. Concept. Let's put concept. Okay. And yeah, let's say, okay, now I know that this one goes after that, and I want to organize them in order of things. And I can run a Control C and then minus, Control C minus, and now I have them in order, right? Or maybe I want parentheses instead of that. Boom, there you go. So yeah, that's the idea. Not the best example right now. But yeah, that's what we got. So, finally, what else can I show you regarding language learning? I mean, there's just so much more power to this. Let me just think real quick. I want to see if there's any extra feature that I think you really like. Let me just pause it for a second to try to remember. But yeah. Okay, so we're back after like a 5-minute session of thinking. And, I came up with something that is going to be really useful, which is, when you're learning anything, I mean, especially for language learning, you need resources and you want to organize all of your links perhaps, right? So if we have resources and down here I do a double asterisk and I put like, I don't know, like, yeah, useful phrases, right? And I'll show you the power of this in a second, but useful phrases. And now we want to attach a link to a place where we can find useful phrases. So if we go back to here, I can be like copy. And if we go back again to Emacs, I can paste it. Now, say like that is enough and that works. And again, you can open links the same way we open this type of link. Sorry, what am I doing? The same way we open this type of links, like when we link things to different headings, we can also open links to the internet. So we can do Control C, Control O. And it's opening. It's just taking a little while because it's in another browser. I need to configure my default browser, but it's going to a different browser, which is Firefox. It's not my primary one. And here it links to the main page where we have it all. I have it right now in dark mode, so let me just turn that off. But there we go, right? So yeah, that's useful. But say we want to organize these links a little bit better. If we press Control C, Control L, down here, it's a bit small, but you can see it says like the URL, we just press enter, and here it asks us for a description. So we just say like, I know that this website is Omniglot and it's Tokipona useful phrases. Boom, there we go, right? And again, and you might be, I don't know, it depends, it's up to you. Like sometimes I just put a slash just to remember it's a link to the internet so that I don't get it confused with headings. A www, anything you like, you can put anything there. I'm gonna get rid of that because it looks weird. This is optional. I'm actually gonna get rid of it just for the sake of not confusing you. There we go. So again, if we open that, it's just taking me a while because it's going straight to Firefox, and I was I was silly enough to close it fully, so it's restarting the whole browser. But again, here we go, right? So I'm not gonna close the browser this time. What else we got? So say we have useful phrases, and now let's go to my browser in here. I don't want to put something else, right? Yeah. So back here we were actually in the classic word list. So this is useful because this is where we got all of our words, and say we want to revisit it, or we want to see maybe the symbols which we didn't attach. Again, I can I'm gonna do it with the mouse just for the sake of making it easier. Control copy, and then let's put it down here, paste. Now I want to do another heading for this. It's not useful phrases. This one is actually heading 2, and this is actually word list. Word list Tokipona. Okay, or Tokipona word list. It doesn't matter. Word list Tokipona. Okay, and again I can make this a bit nicer, but by running the command, which is Control C, Control L. Yeah, and here you have the thing. You press enter, and now you have the description, which is tokipona.net classic word list. There we go, and now it looks a bit nicer. We can close this, and you can really go crazy onto like subheadings of subheadings. And so, for instance, another thing that is useful, like say you have a lot of these, right? I'm just gonna, say you have a big list of things, and you have them all like that. That was a bit weird. I did something wrong. Either way, you have like a whole thing, and maybe you also have this one is a subheading of that, and this one is a subheading of that, and so on. I'm just doing Alt right key, and it's kind of like indenting them inside one another. Like now, of course, it's not realistic. It's a bit of a mess because it's the same link. I'll just command set all of this. Okay, that's enough. I'll delete these ones, and it's getting a bit crazy. So again, like what's really useful is I can tab and it collapse and expand things. So here I can be like useful phrases, word list Tokipona, and so on, right? Yeah, we can keep going, right? But of course, ideally you would have different things. Now I'm just gonna, like Control set out of all of that because I don't want to keep that mess for the example that I want to show you right now. We're just command, just Control S, which in this case I have it set to U, but that's only because I use Vim shortcuts, so you don't have to worry about that right now. Yeah, so there you go. Now if you have, so yeah, this is what's really useful. So say you are, you got things from word list Tokipona, which is the heading that you have it under, and in sentence example, or maybe, actually let's go to word list, and here we have our whole thing. So say for instance, how can we do this in the best way? Word list. No. Yeah, I'm gonna indent this one. I'm gonna make a heading on top of this, maybe dictionary or something like that. And I'm gonna put a heading 1 in here. And now let's say what's really cool. You know how all of these are in heading 2, which is red. It has 2 asterisks. I want to put everything in 3 asterisks, but I don't want to be selecting everything and adding another asterisk. All I need to do is compact this, Alt, right key, selected, right key, and now everything is in a it has 3 asterisks. So now, right now it's down. So let's just assume we're putting dictionary, word list, or maybe here we want to call this classic word list because Tokipona has changed a little bit. But yeah, classic word list, and I want to be like, okay, but where did I get this? And say maybe like, I don't know, like here we can put another thing. I can't really think of the best way to organize this right now, but link to resources. Okay, something like that. And as you can see, like we have resources, so we could do two things. We could just do a double bracket and put resources, and that is going to bring us there. Now let's just open things up a little bit just so that it takes us actually there. But link to resources, if I boom go this, it actually highlights the thing. Let's just assume we have, okay, let's put this up here. Let's open the whole word list, and now link to resources, it takes us down there. I can, contract was not needed, and now I have a link to resources. Now let me close everything again, like with Shift Tab. These are useful things to remember. We got the dictionary, link to resources, and now let's say we want just a word list of Tokipona, okay? So, we have resources, but now in here again, we can do like word list Tokipona. We double bracket that, and again, like we have all of this open, and we can go straight into that specific part, and I can open the link now, and it goes straight to where I need it. So yeah, hopefully by now you can see the power of all of this. Like it's just crazy. Sentence examples, or like maybe I could have like a practice one. I'm about to be done. I just want to show you like the practical application of all of this, which hopefully you already see. You can see that, but say like, again, I can't remember what it means, what ala means, or, maybe another word, and say like telo. What was telo? And I can go like boom, boom, and it takes us to telo. And telo means water, liquid, sauce. And again, I would have to clean a few of these to be better organized because it's a bit of a mess right now. But yeah, I mean, hopefully you can see what was telo, and boom, there I go. Telo means water, liquid, juice, sauce. If we contract everything, that's about it. So let me just take a second to bring this thing to a conclusion. But yeah, so hopefully you could see the application of all of this. I think it was, pretty good for just like a basic walkthrough. Now, again, if you want, let me just make myself bigger. Can I do that? There we go. Okay. Okay, so yeah, if you're interested in learning more of these things, and you see the value of this, and you don't have to be a programmer to learn these things. You don't even have to be a computer nerd. You just have to have the willingness to learn. I come from a background where I didn't know much. A year ago, I didn't use Linux. I didn't know much about computers. And, in a year, I've gotten super deep into these things. I'm not saying it's going to take you a year to get to the place where you can do what I just did right now. What I did right now is probably easy enough. I just want you to understand that there's real power in these things. Let me just close this, annoying me a little bit. There we go. So there's real power into these things, and my hair is going a bit weird, but these things are super useful, and it doesn't limit to language learning. It doesn't limit to anything. There's so many powerful features. I manage my whole agenda, my schedule of things in here. I time track everything I do. I can have a list of how much time I spend doing each episode of every podcast, how much time I spend doing a video, maybe a freelance project that I'm working on. So many features. I mean, this one is very useful for language learning, which I think you hopefully enjoyed. But yeah, if you want to learn about these things, there's one or two things that you can do right now. One is, message me, show me your interest, especially for language learning, for instance. If that is what you're interested, let me know, because I am developing online courses on these things. And I would love to know what type of things really get your attention, like which things really attract you, which things you want to learn. As you can see, I didn't go super in depth into how I was doing things. Unfortunately, kind of like the, showing you the keys of things kind of like just faded away. I need to fix that program. I don't know why that's happening. So yeah, sorry for that. But, if you do want to learn these things, it's gonna take a little while. It's gonna take a little commitment to just be like, okay, I'm gonna spend this much amount of time a day just to learn some of the basic things, how to move around a document. But it's so powerful. Like, you have no idea. Hopefully we'll be making more videos like this. Let me know which type of videos, what type of thing you would like me to explore, whether it's time tracking in Emacs, or whether it's, more of note taking and linking across different files, or maybe even crazier structure of this. I can also show you how this file is going to progress as I build it and as I expand on it, because I'm going to be using this quite a lot. But yeah, so feel free to contact me if you're really eager and you can't wait for the online courses to release, because it's going to take me a while to produce them. Send me an email. I can also do one-on-one consulting. Maybe if you feel like Emacs is too crazy and maybe too much work, I do have like more basic versions of similar things that do have like a lot of power, but they're really easy to learn. And again, they're open source and it's plain text files where you don't have to store your notes in someone else's software, like Evernote or OneNote. Like, it's yours, right? And you can keep it and you can sync it across devices. Like right now I have things synced in Dropbox, so this is right now in my other computer, in my phone, which is great. But yeah, so feel free to contact me. I really hope you enjoy this. Give me any feedback. I would love to do more of this. Tell me if, like, I don't know, maybe I dragged out on some things too long, and maybe these things could be a lot shorter. I can definitely plan them a bit more. But I thought there was value in kind of like a setup from zero. How does setting up these things from zero work? Again, this was for language learning. This hopefully was useful for the Tokipona speakers out there. If you found this video by Tokipona, or maybe if you follow my podcast on Tokipona. But yeah, I really enjoy doing this. I really appreciate you being here. And yeah, again, let me know if you would like to see more of this, and I'll see you in the next one. So until then, I hope you maybe jump on board with this idea of learning Emacs. If you run into roadblocks, again, feel free to contact me. I'd love to help you. And yeah, look forward to the online courses that are gonna be great. They're going to be very focused towards people who are not programmers. So if you're not a programmer, don't worry. That's what I'm working on, and hopefully we can make it work. So yeah, with that being said, I really hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.